High flies, $99 packs go for disguise. Star Trek senses lost in the void. The frailty, joy destroyed. No mercy for greed. Blood white flows. Cling on honor, let it show. Toxic fate, electric beast. Star Trek soul, now deceased. Galactic vultures scorching gold. Transformation story soul. Ranky smile, power thirst. Legacy shattered, unforgivable curse. Galactic vultures scorching gold. Transformation story soul. Ranky smiles, power thirst. Legacy shattered, unforgivable curse. Swords of warriors, blood-red skies, shattered dreams, cash cow cries, blood-blade madly, chaos and thrill, Star Trek's blood now spilled. Crimson war cries, glory lost, money takes, honors tossed, blood wine dripped, blood in rage, comet sweeps in his grave.
Dude, all right, let's turn that down. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's Sunday, and I've got like a pinched nerves. If you see me like walking, leaning weird, or if I just like fall to the ground, it's because of that. It hurts. I don't know what I did, but I'm getting old. I turned 36 this year. Can't believe it. We're like 2.5 months from my birthday, so I'm old. I am falling apart, comms. Welcome in, everybody. Hope y'all are having a great weekend. And if you're not, let me know how I can make it better. We're going to try, at least I'm going to try, to gather as much feedback as I can from you amazing ladies and gentlemen. Because that's what you all are. You're all ladies and gentlemen here. And we're going to do our best, try to give some good, honest feedback to the overlords at Scopey Dope. Now, what does that actually end up looking like? Well, that's going to be for y'all to decide. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like you, me, and everybody else are going to single-handedly change this game for the better. I will say and remind everybody, hey, look, we might not always get what we want in Star Trek Fleet Command, but it is undeniable that the players, not just the spenders, but the players, surveys we do, feedback we give, leads to change. It has clearly done that in the past. As I talked about earlier, it really comes down to how much can we get them to listen. And as our friend Nemeth over here refers to it, we're currently in trash points, which is kind of how everybody feels about it. It is trash pointy right now. And let's just be honest, it is. I'm not going to hide that. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's secretly good, because it's not secretly good. It's been secretly painful. But that doesn't mean it has to stay that way. And we'll see if maybe the Alliance tournaments, as has been announced for this upcoming Wednesday, which I think I told everybody last night on Twitch to expect incursions to come this upcoming week. But now they officially have put it out there. So we'll have a Grandmaster version on Wednesday. Now, for those that don't remember how the Grandmaster works, again, assuming they haven't changed it, it'll be no relegation and bonus rewards with better pull timers. So hopefully that will put people in a better mood and put them in a better mood by the fact that there will be better rewards, right? So not just like, oh, it's a better mood because this. No, but like actually better reward for your effort, right? Better reward for effort. Mark says 36 is the new 26. Look, I'll be honest. I'm in a better physical shape than I was at 26, but this nerve stuff hurts. Just say that. Good morning, Kinslayer. Great to see you. Welcome in. Also, it's great to see you as well. Buying packs fixes pinched nerves. Good to know. Sadly, I'm just going to have a pinched nerve then. Time to pull out the deli slicer, says Zoller time. Drop the chuck roast on it, slice up for peanut butter beef saute. I don't even know what that means. Sounds great, though. Denro, good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. Paulie said AT will be after Incursions, so 30th is after the 29th. It is, and Incursions is on the 29th. So, right? But I told everybody this past weekend, I mean, I say this past weekend, it is still technically the weekend, but it's Sunday. I told everybody this weekend that you would expect to be seeing it this week. So, and then For those curious, the 5th of August, which is in like 9 days, expect that to be the launch of Strange New Worlds Part 2. For those of you who are here wanting hints, well, watch season 1 of Strange New Worlds to find what this month is about. And the reason I'm dropping that as a hint is because it's not season 2, it's not season 3. So for you folks who are Star Trek fanatics and diehards, I'm giving you the place to go look to find some of the stuff that you're going to see launching in 9 days. So not really a hint as much as a homework assignment. Homework assignment, maybe? I don't know. Incursions prep while listening to Rev, best combo possible. Make sure you drain those bases. You do not want to be the reason that your server loses. Somebody else can be the reason, but it better not be you, is what I'm saying. You better not be the reason, or I will be very upset with you. And I will judge you harshly. I want to make sure I'm going to get in on this. I want to make, yeah, there we go. The USS Timmy is big enough. We're up top. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Hopefully we get in there. So we got 4 people there. Oh, look, we got a Titan. You don't see a lot of these flying around. A Titan, got 3 cubes. Sompek, is that an Intrepid? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, it's a Newton. Okay. I thought that was an Intrepid. I was like mind blown for a second. I haven't seen that in a while. Yeah. Asuba says with how Klingon focused the arc is, would assume it's a Klingon related episode, which probably means Chapel and Mbenga, as they are Klingon war veterans. Man, that would be a very good assumption. We'll see if that educated guess is correct. So, and I'll be honest, Cybernetic Gaming, and I'm just saying this truthfully. I'm not trying to like be a butt. The worst time to be a level 70 is right now. It's the easiest time to be a level 70, but it's the worst time to be a level 70 because you're right on the cusp of G7, which means that if you get to level 70 now, basically you're gonna have to make that decision. Do I spend a lot of money to keep pushing into G7, or do I choose to sit at level 70 for an undisclosed amount of time? That's gonna be tough. Now, some people might enjoy that. I personally, as y'all know, like sitting at fun levels. And 70, I would argue, is a fun level if you're gonna sit there, but not everybody likes to play like Rev. If y'all are part of the fun level club, then you might not mind it at all, though. So we'll see how that ends up playing out for every individual that is around. So look at the current ship packs. G5 ship scrapping is definitely on the horizon. It is on the horizon, Stephen, as well as freebooters for G6 this year will be coming out. So, but those don't really help make trash points better, right? And I'll be honest, I'm struggling to figure out how to make trash points better. Right now, we can argue things like guaranteed directives, and I get that, but I think the biggest issue, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, here's how I'm looking at things. For me, the biggest issue is just the fact that it's so much. And I know that's a generic statement, and for any Scopely employee that ends up watching this live stream, if y'all choose to watch this, number one, honestly, thank you for still being here after I've torn into you, and I'll not apologize for tearing into you, Scopely. I feel like you've needed to get torn into this month. I'm not going to apologize for it, but I do still appreciate the fact that you listen. So shout out to you if you are listening. But it's just generically put, it's so much. Like when I've got to mine 3 things and I've got to grind multiple hostile chains, I don't care. And that's actually what we've seen a lot with the IMS this time around. Now, I will put on the screen the current IMS for the Flashpoints. So we're going to go grab this real quick and shapoopy. Now, a lot more have completed stage 2 since we were talking about it last night. Here's what we have so far. We have, how many is that? Oh gosh, I got to name them all. Let's just say that's about 25-ish, or right there, 28. 28 servers have completed the IMS Stage 2. 28. Now here's the stickler. We'll see how many end up finishing. There are about 100 and, well, yeah, you see the number. 112 servers in the game right now. So you've got less than a quarter who have finished. Now, server 20, we still have to finish. I ground out on stream last night, single-handedly, by the way. I single-handedly ground us out, rotate, to where we now have stage 2. All Rev. Nobody else did it. It was just Rev. Okay, everybody else did it. But we're currently working on that. We got to refine. I got to do my refines this morning. I'm about to do those refines now, and that's going to help push it. But I think the biggest issue is just everybody's so burned out from this month that even with the lowered milestones, because they did lower the milestones, I'm not going to sit here and pretend they didn't. They did lower them. I think even with the lowered milestones, though, people are so apathetic to the month now. A lot of people just said, heck it, I really don't care, and still didn't do it. So even with the improved IMS, we're seeing like similar lack of completion rates compared to before, right? Very similar lack of completion rates. Why did that not collect? I don't know. But that's where we currently sit and stand. And then that is going to give me IMS Stage 2 rewards. Nice. And then that's for... Oh, so that completed the Flashpoint. Because that, remember, they took out a stage. So that's going to help complete that mission that's been sitting there. But again, like, there's just been such frustration. So how do you fix that? Like, what's a good recommendation besides just yelling at them? So congrats, D-Woo, on finishing Stage 2 on Server 76. James says, we're up to milestone 3 of Stage 2, but I agree that the first 2 runs turn people off from trying. And that also makes the feedback difficult, because had it been how it is currently right now, if that's how it was when it first rolled out, I still would have had some complaints, to be honest, because I personally am of the mind as a player that, you know, most of us should be completing this thing. And I think many people out there probably agree. I understand from a competitive standpoint, Viv maybe only wanting the top 25, 30%, maybe finishing these. But at the end of the day, and I've said this a lot the past month, we are just such, we're just so pigeonholed into this bottleneck of mats, resources, specialty parts, specialty ships, where all their designs can make sense in a vacuum, and then as soon as you get out of the vacuum, which is here in game, you're like, wow, this is terrible. And that's what I'm really trying to like say a lot to them. Every time I get to talk to game design, I'm trying to like, look, I'm not trying to hate on your design. What I am trying to tell you, like, what you're doing is not bad in terms of like your idea, but then when you apply it to the greater state of the game, that's why everybody's like unhappy, right? So, and you saw that with the Q&A this month, right? And again, I 100% want Q&As to keep happening. But one of my concerns is because everybody was so mad and everybody went after them, and I'm not even mad at y'all for going after them. I went after them. How can I be mad at y'all for doing what I myself did? I felt insulted by what they did at the Q&A. I felt gaslit, and I felt insulted. But there you go. Like, what do you do with that information? And hopefully that feedback is taken as genuine frustration, not just toxicity, right? And yes, Pegasus, there will be a puppet episode in Strange New World Season 4. Nothing to do with what we're talking about here, but yeah. Ultravetica says, first week Flashpoint should have been super easy to get. Everyone used to the new format. Second week a bit harder. Third week, now you got to work for it. That makes a heck of a lot more sense than let's make unreachable milestones, set super, super high, and then adjust down, right? Especially if you communicated that ahead of time. Like, hey, week 1 will be easier while y'all learn. Week 2, we're going to up the scale. Week 3, we're going to see who the real dogs are, who the real men, women are. That would have made a lot more sense, right? From a play standpoint. And I think it's tough for me because, like, and y'all heard when I did the rant on the Q&A video, like, to me, this is common sense. And I'm not trying to be insulting when I say that. To me, that's like, duh. But for them, our does and their does are still disconnected. So, yeah. Jurassic Michael Deceives says the main issue of Flashpoint is way too much content, but I believe the bigger issue is lack of preparation and buggy patches. If you're going to drop a lot of new content, make sure it works right. Fair. I mean, sure. For the Heroic Invasion, the loot drop rate to do directives was crazy slow, and the directives are so hard to get. And that is something that I brought up in terms of like an actual mechanic change. Why is there no guaranteed? Why is it not guaranteed that I'm going to get directives? If you want me to do this loop, and they did fix that a little bit when they took out the Vanguard and Honor Guard requirement. All right, that did alleviate that a little bit when you took that requirement out. But even then, it's like, why was that requirement there to begin with? To me, that doesn't make a ton of sense. Why do you require players? Like, seriously, to do an armada, technically an entity, that you can't get guaranteed directives for. Make it make sense. So, and I know we know part of the answer. Let's just go ahead and get the part of that answer out the way. They want you to buy the pack. They want you to purchase the Hurok invasion stuff. But even then, right? I mean, how far does that monetization push need to go before you realize this just isn't going to work, right? And I don't know. I've been working for years to try to bridge this gap. And it's why I like doing shows like this where I reach out to you and say, hey, you give me ideas. You help me along, because I'm not going to pretend that I know everything. I might know a lot about this game, and there's 261 people here. Y'all also have, if y'all are in a stream, y'all also know way too much about Star Trek Fleet Command. I'm just going to have to be honest with you. If you're here right now, Bacon Fish, Admiral Pegasus, Paul, Mom Troy, Ultravetica, y'all have devoted your life to a video game on your mobile phone. Is this where you thought you would be when you were an 8-year-old child? When you were thinking about, what am I going to do? What am I going to spend my time at when I'm 35 years old? Bet you weren't thinking you're going to spend your life on a mobile game, but now you are. And I'm not saying stop. I'm just saying, hey, we need to self-reflect and realize, look where we are now. With that in mind, that means that y'all are really dedicated and y'all know the game, maybe not as well as I do in terms of like the mechanics, but you know the experience as well as I do. Everybody here knows the experience of Star Trek Fleet Command to the equal degree. It doesn't matter if you've been here 1 year or 6 years, almost everybody reaches the same equal level of, I'm here for the community, I love Star Trek, but the game frustrates me. And I don't really know many people who have been here 2 or 3 years who are just like, I love this game, it's amazing, no problems. I don't know anybody like that. So it doesn't really matter if you're here for 1 year or 7 years, everybody is kind of like in the same spot of like, we're here for a reason, but this game won't stop ticking me off, right? And if you are not that way, like if you were legitimately out there saying, hey, Rev, I'm super happy, I want you to chime in and say, look, I'm a little bit different. So there's nothing wrong with being against the current. That's completely fine. I appreciate when people say, well, Rev, I'm not like that, because it makes sure that I have a well-rounded paradigm to how I approach these problems in terms of feedback. So Alexi says, my concerns is that Flashpoints are supposed to be for another 5 months. Will it change, or will the content just be months, iteration, or on repeat? Well, I do want to point this out, and Tibbs was actually talking about this on his stream. Do keep in mind that Trash Points / Flashpoints is separate than the Transigen arc, even though they are in the same spot. They are still technically separate. So, as we're thinking about that, bear in mind that you're still going to have Flashpoints because they want to continue Flashpoints, but that doesn't mean that every month is going to be like what you just experienced. As in, you're not always going to be mining Transigen. You're not always going to be told to go after the runners and the transports. There are going to be other things and other tasks that come up that they are going to ask you to do for other content that's coming. Like next month is more Strange New Worlds. But after that, right, like November is still supposed to have Flashpoints as part of the mechanic. But there's going to be a whole nother arc, right? So the best way I've been trying to remind people is that Flashpoints are nothing more than the copy and paste of Galactic Invasions, except in my opinion, they make Galactic Invasions a little bit worse because there aren't guaranteed directives and stuff like that, right? But that's all this is. It's just Galactic Invasions. So if you didn't do Galactic Invasions last year, this is what you're getting. You're getting Galactic Invasions. So when they came out with the NSEA and Galaxy Quest and everybody loved that, no sarcasm at all. When everybody loved that, that came out with Galactic Invasions, which as a concept I've actually argued for. I told y'all this last year. I've been pitching the idea of Galactic Invasions for quite some time. So that's whatever. But that's all Flashpoints is. So we do know that this mechanic, as in me hunting dropships and me doing honor guards and vanguards, that's something they want players to do for the next plus 5 months. But keep in mind that the content's going to be different. Like they're going to roll out new additions that are ships. They're going to roll out new mechanics that they want you to do, right? New updates to things like freebooters. Those are still coming out. So the real question is, do they really adjust the, like Ultravetica saying, the events tied to Flashpoints? Are they going to adjust that? And King, I'm just going to, look, you know, Rev, I'm not going to lie to you. There's new ships coming. Accept it. Accept it. I'm not trying to be a butt. I'm not trying to like make you buy it. I'm just letting you know that's coming. Because one thing this game is consistent on is create a problem and then create a fix that you pay for to fix it. That's just what they do. Now you can free to play that fix in about 3 months, 3.5 months, depending on things. But that is the method, and the method ain't changing. Why is the method not changing? Well, again, not trying to be a butt face to anybody, because people gladly pay for it. They just do, right? They just do. Is what it is. At least I'm sure it's a fix I can't get or not going to be my problem for a while. That's completely fair. So, that's completely fair. Is there any possibility of a Nebula-class starship as a faction or special ship in the future? Yes, Aradia, there is. In fact, one of the things that I've got to talk to game design about over the past couple years is they are asking, hey, what are ships that people like? What are things that people want? For example, the USS Vengeance that just came out, and I know nobody here, I don't think we have a single Vengeance owner here. There's only like 15 in the game right now. There might be up in the 20s at the moment, but if we just scroll to the very end, if y'all have never seen a Vengeance, I'll show you what it is. This just came out, but this model, the 3D model, was actually designed originally back in 2018, right? And then it got shelved because Star Trek Fleet Command got access. Why is there a yellow dot? What is that? What is this? What is this? Okay, anyway, I'm getting ADD'd. The model was actually originally designed, and then they got access to the series and everything and all the other movies, and they said, hey, we're going to shelve all this content and focus on Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Voyager, etc. And now that they've gone through all that, they brought this back and they updated what they had originally designed and launched the Vengeance. And to be honest, a lot of people have been asking for it. And it's not an exaggeration to say that. Like, a lot of people have been asking about the Vengeance. As the guy who has been here from day one and been the primary content creator for this game since 2019, there wasn't really anybody who was primary 2018 content creator because that was only 2 months, but you know, a lot of us were just finding the game, jumping into it, and I started in January of 2019. So, having been there from the beginning, I can definitely tell you, lots of people have been requesting this ship to come out. And here it is. So, it's just really more a question of when, right? And then they've also made some custom designs, and I'm also curious, from a design perspective, how many of those custom designs are they wanting to, like, be really good so that they get picked up in the shows? Because those that don't know, if you have watched, say, Star Trek Picard pulled multiple ship models from Star Trek Online and made them canon, which I think is really neat. Just from a Star Trek perspective, I think that's really cool. They took multiple, essentially, fan designs and say, hey, these are canon now. I like that. I think that's really dope. So, yeah. Let me jump in and see if I got enough to do a triple pull, and then we're going to, yep, I can triple pull. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually turn my quick assimilate off, and we're gonna see if I get RNGs as blessings or curses. And this is gonna be part of like why everybody gets frustrated, because there is no guarantee for the directives I'm about to go for, but I need the directives to do the stuff. So we're about to triple pull. And remember, there's a 15% chance I get these and a 75% chance I get one of these. We're going triple pull. So that means 3 chances. Here are the numbers. So each pull gives a 75% chance of rares, with 15% of that 75% being 200, and then a 15% chance of an epic. We're going triple pull. We'll see what the math says. That was 3 boxes. 3 boxes. See, this is why I hate the math. So that means I have 3 separate pulls, each having a 75% chance to give me rares. Only 1. So only 33% of those 3 pulls gave me directives, and I got no epic. Now, I can't get too mad, because if y'all were at last night's stream, I've actually had really good RNG with this. I'm just being honest. I've actually had really good RNG with this mechanic. How can I show you that Revs had good RNG with this mechanic? Well, I have not purchased a pack. However, if you go into the Flashpoint invasions, you go to the ALB, which is right here, you can see that Rev has gotten to run quite a few of these, right? So this is actually probably the worst pull that I've personally gotten. But that's a great example of why people get so mad though, right? The fact that of my 3 pulls, because you can only do a triple pull in a 24-hour period, and it takes a lot of grinding to earn that currency. I mean, I'm using a maxed out Rotaran with a great crew, and then I get 1 rare. That's not fun, right? That's not a fun mechanic. Now, what I'm going to do for this, I'm just going to do a single pull because I'm not going to bother with running that rare. So I'm going to get my premium mirror dust, and then I'm going to go do a single pull of the epic. And we'll see what we get here. At least I got that's a decent chunk. And I'm working on getting Dejac. So, Dr. Doomsday says, are we spinning our Flashpoint of Store currency? We're going to hold it for the next time the store runs. So, what they did last time is it rolled over. We assume that will continue, but they have not said if the Flashpoint currency will roll over all 6 months. I've been saving it. Most people have been saving it, and it rolls over. Whether that continues forever, don't know. So, kind of make that decision for yourself. Like if you really want to save for the fleet preset, and I'm at 294,000. So, because I'm a believer that the fleet preset is only a good quality of life edition if you have 2. If you don't have 2, it's really kind of meh. And I really am not trying to sound like a hater. I'm not. But if you've only got 1 fleet preset, what good is it really doing you? Because then you still got to go swap everything back to what you were using before. So you need at least 2 before fleet presets really feel like, wow, that's good. So you can have like a default run, and then you can have like an arena run, and then you can have like a base defense run, and then you can have a mining run. But you need to have 1 that's default and then 1 that's specific to a task. So like right now I have this because my alliance leader came on the stream. His name is Behringer, and he said, Rev, you need to get this. And I was like, dude, you don't have to do that because I don't think it's really that great. But he's like, do it anyway. And he sent me $120 to purchase this. So I've got it so I can show how it works, right? But I believe you need at least 2 for this to matter. And the only way to get 2 free to play is you get 1 through the Flashpoint currency. And then if you happen to have a ton of Syndicate, you get 1 way back here. Where is it? Syndicate. What number is it? All right, Syndicate 59. You get another one of Syndicate 59. I'm at 52. And there are people in this chat who are closer to 59 or probably have already gotten there. But the average player, are they close to that? No, they're not. The average player is not at 59. Now, if you want to know how to get more, progressed in that loop, let me go ahead and tell you the secret. For those that don't know the secret, do your DTI pulls. Now, there are a couple of favors and stuff that also improve the amount of Syndicate XP that you get, but the biggest way is doing your DTI pulls. So if you're not doing your DTI pulls, get to doing it. That is the best way to quickly progress through that. Gosh, I wish I could pull more than 1 at a time. So do your DTI pulls to progress through Syndicate as fast as you can. That is the current meta. There also are some favors and things that will help that loop as well. But that's the main thing. Also, as a reminder for those here, do not forget, while y'all are here, yeah, I was pulling double chest there, save up these because we have Alliance tournaments coming up on the 30th. You're going to want this. This is the best free-to-play 10K task in existence right now. So if you have not been doing these refines, you better be doing these refines. That's the best 10K task in the game at the moment. Easiest to free-to-play. Make sure y'all are doing it. So, yeah. You're up 64. I need 85 million Targ loot for triple. It takes 2 hours to grind a single chest. Dang, Paul. Which hostiles are you hitting? Because obviously you would be expected to be grinding 64s. But at 64, that would also require you to have a very high tier 63. And most people don't take their 63s very high tier. What the heck happened to that leg? What the heck? Is that just showing wrong? I don't know. Whatever. Rev's going back over here. Rev's going to keep farming these as long as they're launching. And let me see if I've gotten directives where I can launch this. Because this is my 15 a day claim. Oh, somebody just launched it before I could. Bartman's mom is the best 10K free-to-play task. Wow. Bring in the Twitch content over here. I see you. I respect it. I see you and I respect it. Does it make sense to max a Valdor now? I think it's easier to max a Valdor today than it's ever been, so sure. Easier to do that now than ever before. So, now do you need to do that at Ops 42? Probably not. And I'll be honest, I would probably rather you max a rare or an epic than an uncommon. I really don't think you need past a tier 5. It really depends on how much you want to engage in current content. That's what that really comes down to. How much current content do you want to be invested in? So, gosh, I need more of this. I need 90 more of those. I need 90 more. So I still got to do that Flashpoint mission. It's Venom. Okay. Relativity is a better grinder than your tier 10 Valdor. That's also another thing, James, especially ships take over. And we've been talking about that a lot lately, about how in G6, the GS31 can be like a main ship, and how in G4, the NSCA and the relativity can do that. It just really depends on where a player's at. I'll be honest, I don't think it's fun, and this is just my opinion. Everybody here can disagree. I don't think it's fun to just say, heck it, I'm just going to do special ship, ignore all the actual Star Trek stuff, and just going to ops up. I think it's fun to have a Valdor and to be strong. I think it's fun to have a Tribune and have it tiered up and PvP with it. I think that's great. I think it's fun. But if you are just trying to be quick, level up, all you care about is opsing up and making it to the top level, then yeah, absolutely. You can do that with methods like focusing on the relativity, focusing on the GS31, focusing on the NSCA, and just doing a specialty ship run. I don't think that's fun, because to me, this game is not fun in terms of if our goal is literally, this is also another free-to-play task, by the way. If our goal is like literally just to ops up, I don't see the fun in that, and I never have. So, yeah. Your max Revenant is your go-to OPC hunter. So my Revenant is not max, but I do use it for OPC hunting. So my special ships, I have a tier 10 Revenant, it's as high as I can go at 60. I have a tier 8 Relativity. I have a tier 10 NSCA Protector, a tier 6 GS31, which I really want to upgrade this as quickly as I can. Like, I wish I could really jumpstart that one. I'm one part away from tier 7, because that thing really starts to take off, really has a lot of value. But yeah, it's special ships kit. The two best ships in G6 right now are arguably the Cube still and the GS31, arguably. So, arguably. Sugar Fat Man says, I've only been in Ops 42 for about 4 weeks, and my Tier 5 NSCA is my best ship. Tier 9 Valdor and Tier 9 Katinga are my 3rd and 4th strongest ship. Yeah, completely fair. These special ships, especially the Relativity, tier up real quickly. The NSCA does as well. And thanks to things like the Revenant, you can get the NSCA upgraded really fast. So, due to my research, my Valdor is 2 or 3 times more powerful than my specialty ships. Well, Aradia, that also sounds like your specialty ships aren't tiered up for your level, which isn't a critique, by the way. That's just an observation. Because at tier to tier, your NSCA will be significantly stronger than anything you have in G4 if it's tiered up as high as it can be, right? For example, a level 50 player can have an NSCA that's 800 million power. They can have a Relativity that's 400, 500 million power. Like, there's just no G4 ship that's getting there realistically, you know, even with all your faction research done. Now, if you're moving quickly and that means your special ships have not progressed very quickly, then they're not going to surpass your faction ships, and your faction ships remain your strongest. If you happen to be a player who plays a little bit slower like Sugar Fat Man, what you end up finding is a lot of times your special ships can outpace your faction ships, because if you give them the time to tier up in those G ranges, they just get really strong. So, getting my pulls in while we're chit-chatting. Mike says, I've always felt like the NSA has a lot of fake power. Before 50 and max tier NSA couldn't touch my tiered up flagships and actually use. I think that just is probably people not knowing how to run them, because I have fought well tiered and well crewed NSCAs who whoop my butt a lot, right? There were level 50 players who were beating me as a level 56 with their NSCA. A lot of that comes down to an individual player's knowledge. And again, not to blame players because this game has become way too complex. It's tough to keep up with everything that you need in the game today. Like, you have to really decide what kind of player you want to be first. And if you say, hey, I want to be a PvP player, then you need to really focus on PvP. Like, that needs to be your focus. So it just depends on what you want to be. If you want to be PvE, then you need to focus on that. And that means, okay, if I'm PvE, then I know that I'll be doing a lot of, well, focusing on getting my Voyager grinds in and getting my specialty grinds in and getting all those done. So, well, Mike, again, another example would be the relativity. You know, a mid G4 player's relativity can get in the hundreds of millions. Mid G4. Now, it's newer than the NSCA. And this is what tends to happen as specialty ships come out. They have to, you know, inflate them to make them more alluring to purchase. And that means they have a tendency to be imbalanced. Let's just put it nicely that way. They have a tendency to be imbalanced. So, yeah. For G5 and Arena, what's the max level I can go before I start dealing with G6 players? Depending on the loadouts, 53. And even then, it's still technically possible. So, yeah. Well, Ice Glow, why are you comparing a Sompec to an NSCA? Why are you comparing a Sompec to an NSCA? A tier 8 NSCA? Because keep in mind, Ice Glow, a tier 8 NSCA is, and again, this isn't a trying to be a butt. That's woefully underpowered in terms of what tier you're supposed to be at level 56. Supposed to be at, right? This is all, again, going, we talked about this a lot yesterday. This goes back to bad design because the NSCA takes over 600 days to max out. 600 days, assuming you're not doing anything to help improve its upgrade path. The NSCA takes over 600 days to max out if all you're doing is mirror refines. So then you have to do things like event stores to speed up that process. But you should be significantly past tier 8 at 56. So it's not fair to compare a tier 8 NSCA to a tier 6 Sompec. Now, again, I'm not blaming a player for that. Scopely's design is all FUBAR. But if you're going to do that comparison, you have to do, okay, what is tier to tier? Right? So a tier 8 NSCA is it's like a level 46 NSCA, then you're comparing it to a 56. So, are they going to do anything about the Flashpoint mission chapter 1? I have no idea, David. No clue. Has that been brought up? Yes. But I have no idea if they're going to do anything about it. They've not said anything to me if they're going to. Now, I'll just go ahead and be honest. I've been talking about a lot more topics than just that. What the? Well, heck, man. I mean, set a crew. My Lanta. We're doing multiples now? Cheese and crackers, man. You got to let me know we're doing all this stuff. All right, let me go in here real quick. Here's all my DTI store. What do I need to focus on in there? A lot, Mark. I did a whole video on it. And sadly, the only way to do this game is with a lot. But I'm going to go jump in here. Let's pull up the DTI store real quick. Sorry, 1 second. I need to keep sending my ships to these formation armadas. So here's the DTI. You obviously need to work on getting the relativity. And you need to work on getting the currencies you need for all these purchases. So this is going to be your main to upgrade materials you need for the various things, favors, etc. These are for running the armadas or the formation armadas. These are great payouts, but that is a special currency you get from running the armadas. You obviously need to get the directives, right? This is for the research. So you have two different research currencies. That's weird that it's... I'm sorry, this is the upgrade currency, my bad. This is for the relativity upgrade. You have two different currencies for that. These are your two research currencies right here. And then these, in my opinion, are arguably immediate go after. There's three things I would say, hey, you definitely want to focus on. Syndicate XPs, and then the building upgrade right here. Now, after that, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Chrono Deflector, one of the better, one of the arguably top 2 best PvE chaos techs in the game. Viel and Tol Ra have great sourcing here because you have unlimited pulls at a solid rate. So you get 5 shards at a time with no cooldown. So if you have the currency, you can fly through it. So you have Janeway's Pocket Watch, which is a solid addition as well for more ISO. The Crinum Time Weapon is another solid one as well. But the first 3 things in terms of like what are we spending currency on? Syndicate XPs and then our DTI access cards. So is Seska worth the currency? Seska, no. Now I did talk to game design, or not game design, it was actually a community management about a week ago about the Seska problem. So the Seska problem is her cost does not match the shard she's given. She was not updated and she's not formatted like Viel and Tol Ra. So it's not that Seska's a bad card, but she's not efficient to go after, right? Just like this strand of Crinum hair is not efficient to go after. You can't just spam it and where you're, because if you do a full pull of Tol Ra, it's better value than doing a single pull. I get 5 shards for 1,200 versus 1 shard for 360. Seska needs to be fixed to match that, and Seska is not currently fixed to match that. So I did talk to them about that this past week. I hope it gets changed in an update. But Viel and Tol Ra, very good value. Seska, not good value. So, all right. With the ship skins like the Cardassian Galore for the Valdor, when can we expect them to return to the store or event store? I don't have an answer to that. Whenever they get around to feeling like it. They did it the last big event store. So at the end of an arc, maybe next month, right? If next month is the end of the arc. So 37,000 Senate XP seems a little too little when you need 17 million for a single here. Well, keep in mind that is going to be dependent on your level, where you're at. I mean, I'm on a level 60 account, right? It's going to vary based on your account, where you're at. So we can pull up charts because everybody likes charts. Charts. Yay, charts. Let's see. Where's the chart? Where's the chart? Oh, I think that is maxed. Yeah, 36,750. But I mean, it's a lot. Yeah, Yippee charts. I mean, that is a lot. I mean, I'm getting 120,000 a day, something like that. It's just one of those, like, you got to be doing all your pulls. I think the max somebody can be doing, G6 players are pulling, I think 300 something thousand a day free to play. And G6 spill in what it is right now. I think it's somewhere around there. 300,000 a day free to play. So, all right, going to wait for this to respawn. I know I have rares I can launch. So, heads up, the Veron T Disruptor projectile you unlock at Syndicate 52 is Ops Lock to Ops 52. That's nice, Sugar Fat Man. Did not realize that part. Thank you for sharing. That's annoying. I did not realize that part. I actually just got it here a couple days ago. So, yeah. Will they ever give us the Battlescar Enterprise D skin? No idea, King. I have brought that up with game design many times. No idea. But with it being an item that, you know, was given away for free and has no real value, as you can imagine, super duper low priority to them. Ugh. You've had this claim chest and refinery bug for 2 weeks nearly. What claim chest and refinery bug, Carly? What claim chest and refinery bug? And hello, Willie. Welcome in. Yeah, the Veron T Disruptor has been nice because it helped me get... like, my ISO has gone to right at 340 now, which I think is pretty darn tootin' good. I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, I want more, but I'm pretty happy with that. So, come on and respawn, darn you, so I can go ahead and launch this thing. There we go. There. Oh, what? I thought I had rares. Well, apparently I don't have rares. I am just absolutely useless. I'm useless. I thought I had rares laying around. Scott says 55 Syndicate is 210,000, 73,000 from DTI. Archive is a few. The X-Borg, you're only up 66. So you're getting over 200,000 a day. Yeah. I think at the upper G6, it's over 300,000 a day right now if you're pulling from all syndicate sources. Now, an area they need to upgrade, and I know our spenders will chime in real quick. They've not upgraded the multi-phasic stuff in quite some time. That needs an upgrade. That needs some attention. Has Scopely purposely made Tau pretty much irrelevant to have? Yes. They have no real plans to source Tau that I'm aware of either. Just because he's broken so many things, they've kind of thrown up their hands and said, we're not going to bother trying to fix that, deal with it. We're just going to, Tau's over there. Ignore Tau. He doesn't exist. That seems to be the pretty common approach to Tau right now. Just ignore him and pretend he doesn't exist. All right, I'm going to speed this up real quick because I have some researches I need to do. Just like Harrison was for a long time. Yeah, the exception is Harrison, I think, was always kind of planned. We're going to eventually put that out there. Tal's nope, just leaving that alone. Harrison was just really, really strong. He wasn't really broken, long term. Tal breaks too many things for them. And instead of just working on fixing all those systems, you're just saying, heck it. We're not going to worry about that. Now, is that the path I would like them to take? Well, obviously not. Obviously not the path I want them to take, but that's the path they're taking. So. Also, Dr. Iron Chef song in the background. Shout out to Dr. Iron Chef. All right, they launched any 60s? No. Gosh, I could have sworn I had rares. That's weird. That's weird. Please move faction message turn-ins to top of FKR factions. Less scrolling. I mean, what they need to just do is go ahead and release that bundle. Bulk claims. Just need to go ahead and do that. That's what they really need to do, in Rev's opinion. Right? Not that y'all asked, but in Rev's opinion. They just need to go ahead and add that bulk. So how we have bulk refines, we need to have bulk faction pulls. That's Rev's thought. Rev's opinion. What's the ginger nut? So, but anyway, back to doing these pulls. Yeah, DTI, those are the ones that I would focus on. If you're just getting into it, obviously you need to do the loop, but I'll focus on. And yes, like Harrison is going to be in the Grandmaster Alliance Tournament. So we have a Grandmaster Tournament coming up this Wednesday, which if they do Grandmaster the same way they did the last time, that means no relegation and better rewards and better timers on some of those turn-ins. So I'm looking forward to seeing if it is as good as it was last time. And people really enjoyed it last time. And obviously, I would like it to be as good as it was last time. So, yeah. Multi-phase syndicate is a waste compared to ship parts. Well, yeah, it is a Radia. But what my point was, back in the day, multi-phasic used to be probably the best route was to go syndicate. It was one of the best routes. Now it's worthless. So my argument was more like it's drastically needing an update. Now, right now, I would actually argue there's nothing in multi-phasic that's worth doing. None of it. I think it's all terrible. And I've actually, even though I don't buy many things, I've got like 26,000 multi-phasic sitting around that I've not used because I'm waiting for it to actually be worth doing. I don't think anything in the multi-phasic store is valuable right now because it's not actually been updated in well over a year. I mean, it's very dated in terms of like the values on everything. So, does anybody remember the cooldown on Borg Rare Armada chest pulls? I think it's 3 days. I think it's 3 days. Somebody in chat could correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 3 days. Yes, Harley. Alliance tournaments this Wednesday, the 30th. July 30th, we will have Alliance tournaments. July 30th. So Incursions is on the 29th. And on the 30th, we will have Alliance tournaments. So, no relegation would be nice. Just squeaked into expert and probably demoted in the normal tournament. Again, that is assuming they keep it the same way. And I just really want to loudly say that because Scopely's inconsistently consistent. Consistently inconsistent. However you want to phrase that. Whatever's the correct way to word that. So I don't want to speak for them. But I'm assuming it's going to be the same way as the last Grandmaster. Better rewards, no relegation. Again, it's Scopely we're talking about here. So, yeah. So you got everybody's got Incursions this Tuesday. And then Alliance tournaments on Wednesday. So prepare yourself if you have not already. Are you saying the Grandmaster version that whenever we run again might have other changes on the second run? Maybe, Dinwet. Again, I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure everybody's as prepared as you can be. And that's all I can do. It's just trying to make sure that y'all are as prepared as you can be. Let me go see if we've launched any more. Nope. Let me go see if I've got an uncommon I can launch. Yep, I got one. All right, I'll launch. All right. Kinslayer, I can't help that. My schedule's always been what it's been, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not moving my schedule for anybody. Kinslayer. So my schedule's always been what it is. I'm not moving it for anybody. I'll get to see what the results are for the claim chest, especially for missions. Random Mom Troy. But is that, have you selected this? Remember, if you've turned off or if you turned on the disable frequent game animations, a lot of that stuff just gets skipped. So if you want to see your rewards, you have to make sure you unselect that. Again, not knowing if you have that turned on or not. But a lot of people do, and they've added a lot of things that turns off. And some people like that, some people don't. Right? And I get it. Not trying to tell anybody to like it or dislike it. Just making sure everybody knows the path. Also, I'm going to go spam upgrade this thing real quick. Finally, can max this one out. There we go. Nice 1,300 bonus. The USS Tim is going to really enjoy that. Now I just got to get all these done as well. Hull health, shield health, hull health. Get all these, especially the Quark scanner. Really need the interceptor stuff done. But yeah, I'm sure the USS Timmy really likes that. We'll see when we dock it next. You have a select sometimes, still see rewards, which drives you nuts. Consistently inconsistent, like I was just saying, right? Consistently inconsistent. And that's just the nature of the game that we all love. And you can't say you don't love it because you're still here. It might be an abusive relationship, but you still love it. Good to see you as well, Dreek. Welcome in. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. I'm dealing with like a pinched nerve situation thingy over here. And helping everybody as much as I can in this amazing game of ours. So, you're going to stay op 60 for very long? I'm going to do exactly what I've been telling you I'm going to do. I'm going to stay op 60 until G7 rolls out. And then I'll go up. So, until G7 rolls out, I'm going to be at 60. I always stay, the main account y'all see always stays one level below the premium area. Always. Always. All right, Ultravetica, you get you some rest, my friend. Definitely appreciate you stopping in. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, even though you're probably about to pass out. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. So, and I've got enough of these laying around. We'll start working on that. Love is a strong word, more like soft hate. Hey, love and hate are the two sides of the same coin, my friend. Two sides of the same coin. Any word on new incursion point scoring? Nope, they've not released it. I was hoping they would tell me, but they didn't. I was hoping. Why do I do that? Why do I do what? Why do I do what? And go and claim, get that in, then we'll scroll down and do our mission exchange, which is going to be nice. I get over 10,000 a day from this. Assuming it loads correctly. We'll come back to it. It's having a tough time. It's having a tough time. Thank you for the lurk, Viper. Appreciate you. Enjoy your dinner. Not move to 61? Oh, simple. Because the premium area of the game is always going to be the least enjoyable area of the game. It just is. I play the game to have fun, not to punish myself. So that's why Rev chooses to play where the most fun is at. And G6 isn't that fun. I've played in G6. I have accounts. I'm blessed to have a lot of friends in this game who will let me log into their accounts, try things, do things. It's just not fun. I don't like it. I know some people do, and I love that for them. But I have found the best strategy to enjoy this game is to play one level below the premium. When G5 was out, G4 was the most fun. When G5 was a thing, or G6 was a thing, G5 was the most fun. When G7 is a thing, G6 would then be the most fun, or at least more fun. Because I won't experience any of the major problems my spender friends and even my free-to-play friends who have already gone up there will experience. All those grinds, the complaints, the economy problems, I'm not going to have to worry about. That's my logic. I play the game to have fun. Should we be more worried than usual about lag if they're running incursions across everything? I'll be honest, Thomas, they've been doing that for like the past 3 to 4 months of incursions. So, do you have problems punching up in PvP? Nope. I can destroy most, depends on who I'm fighting, 66 ships. Because the G6 ships have terrible firing patterns, which is another discussion we talked about a lot on Twitch. If y'all haven't joined the Twitch community, we talk a lot over there about all these things. But, yeah, I mean, I just put up a video of me beating a Velox, a tier 9 Velox a few days ago. So, now keep in mind that I'm also a player who focuses on PvP. Like, I'm not a weak PvP player. I've always been a guy who likes PvP in this game, so I focus on those things. Right? It's why, when you look up mine, we call it the Nemesis, because Nemesis was kind of purchased the skin. You know, my ISO at 340% is higher than almost everybody in this room. It just is. Because I focused on that. But I had to if I was going to be good in PvP. It's why my ISO defense, which isn't even as high as it could be, is at 630. It's why my DPR is at almost 350 million for this ship. It's why the ship is 3 billion out the dock and has a better firing pattern. A much better firing pattern. Oh, did you just launch another one? Sure, I'll come visit. Much better firing pattern than the G6 ships do. Just like my GS31 will be dominant in G6. I'll go into it dominant. And that doesn't even get into the fact that the events I'm typically going to do better at. Right now, if I was to go to 61, 62, 63, this would still be my main ship. However, I would then have to go kill like level 62 dropships. I can kill level 62 dropships, but I can only kill a couple. And that means that I'd have to go back multiple times, like 10, 15 runs to get what I need for pulls. And that's not fun at all. That's terrible. The new content that's come out has been very imbalanced. So, yeah, I'm super happy at 60. And I'd recommend people be at 60 because it's such a fun level to play at. And again, at the end of the day, that's my focus. What's fun in STFC? I'm here because it's fun. And then I know it'll be easier. Oh, Master Surveyor. Is this going to count anomaly stuff? Nope. Isogen. Cool. But I know what's fun for me, and that's just kind of what I focus on. I do need to go spend this, though. Vindicator, I don't really care about. Relativity, I could speed up my relativity. I'm going to do this one. I need more beryllium spheres. My NSCA is way behind. Yeah, I'm gonna beryllium sphere it up. I'm gonna actually do beryllium sphere and one of this. My specialty ships need a catching up. They need a catching up. Then I'll just spend the rest on, yeah, Leonard McCoy, sure. There will be G5 scrapping, Laura. G5 scrapping is around the corner. But I'm going to go ahead and warn you, Miss Laura, G5 scrapping is going to be terrible. Just letting you know. It will start off pretty, you're not going to get good returns for it, is what I'm telling you. It will start off very rough. Just letting you know ahead of time. But it is around the corner, so there's that. Let's check my Master Surveyor. Wow, 85 on that one. Yikes. A lot of people really want Strange New World Scotty, which I understand, but at the same time, I mean, you really want to spend all this stuff just for a Flashpoint officer? Whatever you enjoy, I'm not going to hate on. Whatever you enjoy, I ain't going to hate on it. I'm just not going to go after it. Not surprised. What I'm here for, Miss Laura, to help you out in any way that I can. 372 of y'all here. If you are here, hit that like button. Helps out the channel. And you don't have to do it, but if you want to support the channel, think about donating to help pay these dang kids. They're expensive. And I appreciate y'all supporting the channel. Thank you very much. I can't do what I do. I can't go after Scopely, yell at them, critique them, talk to them without y'all support. It's a big thank you for all this that do. And just as a reminder, for all of you who are here, who are members on our website, revduce.com, podcast episode will be launching after this stream. So if y'all are looking forward to that, I hope you are. Me and Alex will be talking about more gaming stuff over on our podcast on our website, revduce.com. Master Surveyor should take about 45 seconds. Yeah. So I'm sitting on an anomaly node right now, a rare one, just for kind of the hex of it. I don't really need to mine this stuff because I OPC hunt it so much. I really more put it out here to let it get OPC and let somebody hit it. The last time somebody hit me OPC in this token system, they took 6 million. So, and I've got plenty of it because I OPC hunt it as well. So I'm just giving back. If I'm on an OPC hunt, can't mind being hunted myself. All right, let me go ahead and finish these pulls. Did I finish these earlier? I feel like I did. I want to make sure. Yeah, I got that in. I guess I could eventually do those missions. All that, don't really need or care about. Saving this for upcoming event. Alliance tournaments. Yeah, I think we got all of our pulls in. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Your own expensive child, fair. Also, shout out to Tibbs. His song is playing right now. Working our head into 60 for the Dare decks, just slogging due to ACC level. That one's tough, and they did add a improved way to source that, but it's really tough to dump that new currency into it in the away teams because you have so many things that you need this currency for. But that is here now. If you didn't remember, that's 5,000 if you're an upper G5. That's a lot of rare course. So if you are being held back by that, that is an option if you just need to like fly forward really quickly. So, all right, upgrade Rutherford below decks at least. Very nice, congrats. All right, what else we got? Throw your questions, comments in, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the last 30-ish minutes of the stream. I want to make sure I answer everything that I can. That's kind of like my thing. I like answering all y'all's questions. So, that's kind of my shtick. All right, what else we got? Make sure I don't miss anything. Flashpoint is improve the rewards by orders of magnitude to compensate for the time required. Or reduce the time by orders of magnitude. Fair. I would also add that for me, at minimum, there needs to be a guarantee. Yo, this shoulder thing's killing me. I'm gonna sit down. There needs to be a guarantee to the amount of directives you get when doing that pull. Because right now there is no guarantee, and I think that's terrible. I think that's awful. And you missed it because you just came in, which welcome in, by the way. I did a triple pull earlier, and I got 100 rare directives. So 3 pulls. Each of those pulls is supposed to have a 75% chance of giving some form of rare. I got the lowest rare pull one time. So, yeah, good times. Good times. Are you saving your third aid chest for G6? I'll show you, Quincy. No. Not will I eventually? Yeah. But because the third aid chests really haven't gotten an update, I'm not super pressed about it. I will probably have 2 or 3 months saved up. Like I'm saving it right now, but I just started the process. I'm not going to have like 10 months. Now, if you do save up 10 months, there's nothing wrong with that. It's another thing they need to update. If you're trying to be as efficient as possible, then yeah, it's a good thing to do because you get plenty of G5 now in comparison to G6. So definitely makes sense. When's your survey going to be released? So I'm releasing surveys this year at the end of each arc. So at the end of the Strange New World arc, you'll get a survey. But you're not in a Flashpoint arc, to be very clear, Trucking. You're in the Strange New World arc. Flashpoints is something, it's just Galactic Invasions, but it's supposed to be running throughout the rest of the year. So, Snipe, good to see you. First month, I've only completed the daily battle pass event and didn't engage anything else. And hey, sniped. And I'm not trying to say this sarcastic. I got to reboot the game because yay, Scopely. You've had fun though, haven't you? Like, isn't it nice to take a step back and not worry about Scopely's stupid FOMO and their terrible events? Now, maybe you've been so frustrated, understandably, that you have not been able to enjoy it. But for me, I like when I'm not worried about that stuff. And I could be alone in that. But I enjoy the game more when I ignore FOMO. And that basically means when I ignore Scopely, I enjoy Star Trek Fleet Command so much more. So, I really do. I enjoy it so much more. Let's see what we got in here. Get these box pulls. I need all this stuff, man. I'm trying to slowly get all these artifacts maxed, man. I've been working on this for a while. Trying to get these artifacts maxed out. Any idea what the spend amounts have been to top the Vengeance SLB? I mean, yeah. Do you want the money amount or like the points amount? To max out a Vengeance, we were talking about this last night because we actually had one of the Vengeance owners in chat. To max out the Vengeance, if you're doing total cost to acquire and max out, about 20,000 American dollars. And that's just coming from one of the Vengeance owners. So the cost to acquire it and then max it out via packs was 20,000. And that's just straight from a Vengeance owner. Like, I don't have the Vengeance, obviously. And there is RNG. For those that don't know, there's an RNG to the upgrade packs. So it is definitely possible to probably do that cheaper, but just speaking strictly based on that player's experience and what they did. There you go. 20 grand. But this is another reason why I do things like I ignore the premium area of the game. Like if the ISS Jellyfish, which is what the Vengeance is being sold as, because really the Vengeance, again, let's put it back on the screen. The Vengeance is mostly meant to fight the Breen because people are struggling with the Breen hostiles right now. So it's mostly made as your jellyfish to fight the new loop. I mean, if that's the cost of getting the jellyfish, what's the cost of actually getting into G7 going to be? If it's like G6 was, when G6 first rolled out, there were events that were $100,000, 100,000 American dollars to complete. Now, I'm not saying every G6 player completed that event when they went into G6. But when G6 launched, there was a 3-month event that cost $100,000 to complete, and there were multiple players who completed it. So, I think it was either 3 or 6 months to complete. I think it was 3 months. For any high level who was here back then, remind me. I think it was 3 months. But if the Vengeance, let's just say conservative number is 10,000, what's it going to cost for G7 stuff? And this is why I stay away from the premium area. Rev's just not financially built like that. And I'm not like getting on to anybody who is. If you can afford that and you enjoy the game and you want to spend that money, more power to you. Absolutely. I'm not going to shame you for that. It's your money. Spend it how you want to. I would say if you're willing to spend, $100,000 on G6, can Rev get, $10, exclamation point tip. But beyond that, truthfully, I really don't care what people spend their money on. My thing is just how's that going to affect the gameplay? Because if that's Scopely's expectation, well, I don't want to be in that area when that's the expectation because I'm not going to meet that expectation. So, is the reception of Flashpoint worse than Alliance starbases and assaults? In my opinion, no. But that doesn't diminish how angry people are about this month. But no, I don't think it's at that level. That was a special level. Now, is this a very, very, very angry month for people? 100%. Not denying it. Not trying to, sidestep it at all. 100%. Yes, it is. But it's very, very rare that a actual component / mechanic of the game is literally DOA as soon as it launches. And that's what Starbase was. People are still doing Flashpoints, they just don't like it. And a lot of people are not doing it because of the difficulty level of the hostiles, of the events. But there are still plenty of people doing it. Like Starbase Assaults rolled out and it was just completely dead. Everybody was like, nope. Nope. So, will I acknowledge that this is bad? 100%. I'm definitely not trying to pretend like this is secretly a good month. But there's been worse months, is what I'm saying. That doesn't excuse a bad month. Like, we can't say, oh, this month's actually semi-okay because this month was worse. No, it's terrible. At the same time, I'm not gonna lie to y'all and tell y'all it's the worst ever either. So our Flashpoint missions part 1 and part 2 may still be there. Well, one of mine just completed, and I still have Flashpoint 1. And yeah, I think everybody is stuck on here. So I think everybody's stuck with that right now. And I have no idea if they're going to fix it. So where's the Breen used for? The Breen is a new level 70 hostile stuff in area. I might have some screenshots laying around of the Breen. 1 second. I'll see if I have one. Let's see. Is there one in this chat? I'm looking at some of my G6 chats. Hey, are you around to shoot me some screenshots of Breen? I'm just going to message some of my level 70s and see if any of them are around with those. They're not online. Let's see. Is Bear around? Bear's not online right now, so he doesn't have one. Maybe Baller? If you are level 70 and have a screenshot I could throw up on the screen real quick, feel free to share. Oh, here we go. I found one. Here we go. So here's Baller Bear. Baller Bear is another one of my level 70s. Good dude. Really appreciate him. He's always trying to help out the content. So let's put this on the screen. This is his, as you can see, big old boy Cube trying to take on the new Breen warship. And yeah, this is why they're selling the Vengeance. Imagine 175 billion cube barely scratching a ship. Because Scopely, woo darn, are they good at one thing? They're good at inflating numbers. My Atlanta. Thank God Scopely's not in charge of the real world economy. We'd all be broke in about 2 hours. Y'all thought Zimbabwe having like 200 million inflation percentage was bad. Welcome to Star Trek Fleet Command. So this is the Breen, and this is why you need the Vengeance. Because the Vengeance has a ability that makes it better against the Breen. That's like its whole shtick. I'll put it on the screen real quick. So there's the Breen, and then I'll put this on screen at the same time. This one right, yeah, here. Built with a modified research done by John Harrison, the USS Vengeance ignores 100% of Breen warship shields. See, there we go. Now you can see it. So there you go. Same question, Sugar Fat Man. Do we bother scrapping the Revenant for sub 51? Yes. Yes. I would. So you can have all those G5 materials going into G5 or spend on your NSC 8 level 50. So, but yeah, you get all those G5 materials at level 48 or 49, wherever you're at when you do it. So I would. It gives you a ton of G5. 10 days worth of G5 pulls. Exactly what I've done here for G6. So like I scrapped my Revenant at level 60. And that allows me 10 days of G6 material pulls. Here, I guess I should switch the screens now. Boop. And see, I've got my advanced fabricator, and that gives me my G6. So, I'm gonna do a pull. Whee! I think I got 5 of these left after this. Yeah, 5. All right, gotta restart our playlist. And then, if I wanted to, I can use that to, you know, upgrade my cube. Or whatever I want to upgrade. So, my recommendation is yes. There's no negative to it. Get your G5 materials, spend them on Prime, spend them whatever you want to. So, what is that mission? Mine a unit of raw common transigen. Sure, a single unit. I can do that. I'll go mine a single unit. Even though it's 42, yes. You're not G-locked to the scrap. So if you scrapped it at 42, you still get those rewards. Rev mining on stream. Yeah, I'm mining 1. Mining literally 1. How long is that going to take to mine 1? Ah, that's not too bad. There we go. I mined 1. Distract. I can do that. Those are easy. Illegal miner, get him? Yes. Hit rev for mining. Wait, is this guy OPC by chance? No. The key with that is finding the Selkies, man. You got to find the Selkies OPC. So you got to find the Selkies OPC. Those are the good ones. Or any G6 miner for that matter. You find those OPC, that's where you get the good stuff. And you can farm that as a mid G5 play. Right, you don't have to be a super high level to farm that. Stranger Worlds, they can scrap it too. The Mastery Artifacts are great. I've unlocked all 4. I do like the Mastery Artifacts. They're good. So, they are a rare glimmer of positive in what's mostly been a negative month. And look, I'll say the same thing I said last arc for Wrath of Khan. Most of the negatives are not the content, it's live ops, the people who run the events. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think that this month's game designers messed up and they made a lot of these hostiles way too hard. Don't get me wrong. But I think most of the problems the past 3 months and arguably before that has been live ops. The drastic over monetization and the ridiculous requirements, those are all on live ops. So, the content, again, not saying it's without flaws. I just think the biggest issues have been live ops. Like exactly what Sugar Fat Man is saying. We're still hashtag free SLB. The fact that I can't get credit for spending G4 materials at G5 is stupid. There's no logic for that. So, yeah, we're still on that bandwagon. At least I still am. And I hope that doesn't die down, but I feel like that frustration has gotten lost in much louder, equally as important frustrations. So, what can Scoba do about the live ops department? Do you have a contact with the leader over there to pass concerns to? I mean, yeah. Every content creator and, official moderator can do that. And those concerns have been passed on. It's just, will they adjust? And remember that each month you have a new person, or a different person rather, doing the events. And there will be a person who's like overseeing the entire arc. But, that's also why you'll have so much disparity between arcs. One month it might be great, another month it might be terrible. Because it's a different person running it, and that person has different strategies and goals and things like that. Yeah, let's hack it to a computer. Yeah, let's do that. Should I save the Flashpoints to our currency? I mean, that's up to you, Dustin. Most of us are banking on the fact that it will continue to roll over, because that's what Hammy said would happen. But you got to take that at your own risk, man. I mean, do you trust Scopa to roll it over, or would you rather get the guaranteed rewards now? I'm going to try to save them and see, because I would like to get a second fleet preset for my fleet presets for me to feel like they even matter. Wrong button. I'm at 294,000 currency, which is obviously well short, 156,000 short if we want to do some math of what I would need. So let's promote those that are great. Well, here's the thing, Snipe. In gaming, and this isn't just like a Scopely Star Trek Fleet Command thing, the retention of actual employees in gaming is quite low. A lot of employees will only be there maybe 2-3 years, and then another gaming company will snipe them, say, hey, we'll pay you more, come over here. You don't meet a lot of players. You don't meet a lot of people in gaming companies who've been with that company for 10, 15, 20 years. I'm blessed because of y'all to get to talk to all these people in different game companies. I can name on one hand the amount of game designers and live ops people and engineers that I've met that have been with one company. Some of my favorite game designers for Star Trek Fleet Command have moved on to other places, working for people like Warner Brothers and Blizzard and EA and stuff like that. And then you have to meet the new game designer who's picking up where that person might have left off. And that's just not a Scopely thing. That's a gaming industry thing. So, how would you rate this as an event store? To be honest, Eddie, I wouldn't rate it as an event store, because it's not a full-fledged event store. I mean, it's solid. Like, I don't have any negatives to say about it, but it's not a full end of arc event store. So I have less expectations. So Donate the lithium. Done. It's an apology event store? Well, it's not, because it was always planned. So, like, I don't want to give them credit and say, oh, they gave you an apology event store because things are bad. No, that was just how they plan to run things. They just went really, in my opinion, over the top with the pain points. Yeah, it's just my thought. All right, let's see. All those are done. Cool. I've now finished the missions. So, you're at 359,000 currency, but 900K seems a lot. 900K for what, Diwu? For what? So, we're gonna put that there, and cool. We're running these. Honestly, need to run some more Crenum formations. Need to run some more Crenum formations, and I do that with the NX-01. But to do the Crenum formations, I need level 70s to carry. And if you've done your NX-01 upgrades, which I've only actually been able to do this month because I finally got the epic currency, wrong place, to do it. Now with my NX-01, I can fly all the way up here, launch these, and let the G6 players carry, but I get the starter chest, and the starter chest is where the value's at anyway. Oh, 2 fleet presets? Well, Diwu, you can only buy that once in the store anyway. It's like if you got the Flashpoint store fleet thing, you don't get a second one, right? So you don't get to buy it twice. You just get that one. So, like, you don't get 900,000 currency and get 2 of these. You get 1. That's it. You get 1. So there are currently 2 free-to-play versions of this. You got the one in this mini event store, and then you got the one at Syndicate 59. All the others are paid. So you don't get to just like have 1 million currency or hell 1.4 million currency and get 3 of them. That's not how they work. They work the same way that the Fleet Commander spots do. Which, you know, the free one they give out in the event store is this one, the 4th one, right? And then they have other ones that are paid. And they have other ones that are free. But like each one, like a dock, is assigned an ID. So like now you have Dry Dock G, which is this one. That one? Nope, that's the cube. Where's my Dry Dock G at? I think it's this one. Nope, but I'll use it for a reference. Imagine this is Dry Dock G. All of them have an ID. And now they give away Dry Dock G for free, even though for like, what, 3 years, 4 years, it was a $100 pay item or $50 pay item. Now it's free. But you only get that once. Like if you already have Dry Dock G, which I already do, you don't get to go back into your augment store and like, hey, you previously purchased this, you now can get this other Dry Dock. Nope. It's literally this particular item that has the path. So the numbering of the dry docks is the worst. Just putting them in order will be a huge quality of life win. I'll be honest, Dan Witt. Well, I agree with you. Most people don't give a dang. Most people don't care. While I personally agree because ADHD, brain squirrel, OCD, etc., most people don't care. So, but I'm with you. So, you have to wait for Syndicate 59 for the second one? Yes, you will. Yeah, you will. But hey, at least you have an option for 2. Just very, very, very long term. Scoba should pay you more respect, Rev. Throw a crawfish boil. Is it crayfish, crawfish, or crawdad? It's crawfish. It's crawfish. If anybody tries to sell you 5 pounds of crayfish, ignore them. That's not gonna be cooked right. Nope, ignore that person. They're trying to put some evil on your life. Ignore that person, Ricky Bobby. It's crawfish. Mudbugs is acceptable, but that's more of the hockey team than anything else. That's definitely more acceptable than crayfish. If you unlock Dry Dock G and don't have Dry Dock F, what happens? Then you don't have Dry Dock F. You have to buy Dry Dock F. Dry Dock F is still pay only. You have to purchase this. Yeah, that's still a pay-only item. So, but you know the dock opened? If you get dry dock G, you do not get the option to get dry dock F. So, I'm not even remember. A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, all right. Dry dock F was a bad example because H is pay only. I had to just do the ABCs in my head like a 5-year-old. Dry dock F is ops based. Yeah, dry dock G and dry dock H are the two paid ones. So dry dock H you would have to purchase. Sorry. I just picked the one that was empty, okay? I picked the one that was empty. So there are 6, put it this way, there are 6 ops-based docks in the game. There is 1 free-to-play bonus dock. There is 1 purchasable bonus dock. There are 8 total docks in the game. Here we go. Hopefully everybody's on the same page now. Oh, my Lanta, I did that myself. It's my own fault. I have nobody to blame but Rev. But there you go. Hopefully that explained it. You unlock Dry Dock G at Ops 39 from the Augment store and didn't have Dry Dock F, you get Dry Dock G anyway. Correct. If you get G before F, then G is usable. Yeah, G is just another dock, and you can technically buy it as early as I think Ops 30. But I don't know how many people are buying it at Ops 30, but I think that's the earliest you can purchase it. Come on, give me goodies, what we get. Oh, Hypo Spray. Wait, is that the one I already maxed out? I think it is. I think it was actually this one I just got, Crusher's Hypo Spray. Shield health for interceptors. That's what you're wondering. Happy to answer incorrectly the first time and then clarify. That's what I'm here for. Happy to answer incorrectly and then clarify. I'm going to recall my Enterprise D because I want to see these researches I just did, how much it upgrades my stuff. Can't get the rares at 39? You can get the rares at 39 King. My level 34 account is already working on the dock. You gotta go chase those loot goblins. You gotta hunt the loot goblins. That's how my level 34 does it. Now, am I saying that's fun? You can choose to ignore that. You don't have to do it. But that's how you do it. Hunt the loot goblins. All right, repair. All right, still showing my old numbers. I'm gonna just do a full reboot. Get my updated numbers. Do that. Do it that way. Now, Sugar Fat Man says he exchanged the epics that you got as well. Now, I personally would not recommend that method because you want those epics to start working on that quantum slipstream as soon as you can. Takes an annoying amount of loot goblins to get a rare. I mean, it can, yeah, but I'm just saying that's the path. And if you want to start working on that path in G4, that's how you do it. Now, you don't have to do it. You can definitely ignore it. So, but that's the path. Oh, still not 3 bill out of dock? Darn, I was hoping, well, you are missing so many below deck spots, madam. I was hoping she'd be 3 bill out the dock. Darn, darny, heck, darn. Also, I need to put stuff down here. You need to go down there. You can go down there. Who else? Neelix is already there. I feel like there's an obvious one I'm missing. Who am I missing? Pelia's below. Oh, I think it's Pelia. Pelia is currently on a PvP ship. She's usually right there. It's Pelia. She's usually over here. Hugh is on ship 1. Remember, primary PvE? That's my secondary PvE dock. This is primary PvE. That other dock is secondary PvE. So, primary is Wrath of Khan Joaquin, Blana Torres, Harry Kim, Wrath of Khan Carol, Etroy, Chapel Hugh. And then over here, secondary, Beerman, just Andorian Doc Brown, Viel, Pelia, Neelix, Paris, Quasi, and Scott. So I have two fully loaded out, two really good PvE crews to do multiple things at one time. And what I actually would generally do with this one is I'll set this one out to auto grind the new stuff. It's like I'll go auto grind it here and let it do its auto grinding. I don't have Wrath of Khan Savick, so what's the latest model you are building? Currently not building anything at the moment, but I would like to do that again. I'm currently not building anything. Look at that big old cube. She's almost 2 billion. She's almost 2 billion. Be jealous. I has a big cube. I has a big cube. This is my cube. There are others like it, but this is my cube. Let's put a where? Oh, yeah, let's just do this one. Loot it up. Loot. All right. You want to get the Enterprise Lego set? I'll be honest, Eddie. No, because Rev don't have that kind of money. Got your second account, level 60. Congrats, Omicron. Got your Enterprise D up to tier 11. Dude, that is awesome. Congratulations, my friend. And y'all, I'm going to wrap up today's stream. My shoulder and stuff is just absolutely killing me. I can't stay sitting at this desk. So we're going to wrap up. I appreciate y'all. If y'all need anything, remember, hit me up on the Discord. If you want to support the channel, check out revdeuce.com. Greatly appreciated. Every little bit helps. If we could just get 5 more people. Remember, we also need you. If you're interested in sponsoring Battle Pass giveaways, we are 9 days away. So that means this week I'm going to be advertising is not the right word. I'll be asking if you want to support Battle Pass giveaways. We need your donations. Hit me up. Greatly appreciate it. Check out revdeuce.com for a lot of bonus stuff that you can get by being a member, as well as supporting Battle Pass giveaways as well. Greatly appreciate you all. See you on the next one. Live long and plunder. I'm outie.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.